Hello, my name is Saturn. I'm pretty sure I just encountered a pretty substantial game-breaking bug, or it may be related to Ark passive or how Lost Ark actually calculates how many buffs you can have in the game. Um, so I just ran a Mortem Gate 3, and I have a big problem with Adrenaline. So I have the exact same build on that I just ran the raid with, and I'm in Trixian right now. So my crit rate right here is 46.65%. If I stack up Adren and Master, then my crit rate goes to 73.65. And then hitting a back attack is 10% additional crit rate. So my crit rate is 83.5%. Now the problem here is, in this run that I just did, if you go to the meter and you look at self buffs, you can see that with Adrenaline, when you stack up Adren, you have this little icon here that indicates that you have 20% crit rate going on. This is attached with Adrenaline, but it is a separate buff. Now, what happens here is, if you look in the log, the enhancement effect is only applied for 14% of the run, 14.7%. My crit rate in this raid here was 72%, but my base by myself is 83. With that said, I also have a 50% flash orb uptime, and when I have a flash orb, that puts my crit rate up to 100%. Basically, why I'm saying this is it shows that Adrenaline is only applying this crit rate buff for 14% of the rate, which is the main problem here. And the weird thing is, it's working in Trixian right now, and it also worked in this previous run that I just did, the Gate 2 associated with the same rate as the Gate 3. And if you look at self buffs, you can see that the crit rate enhancement is 100%. I'm going to pull up a VOD here right now from that run. So if you look here, I let my adren fall off at this moment. You can see right now that I currently have adren, and I don't actually have the effect of the 20% crit rate. This right here, this has a timer. This is indicating a flash orb. So this falls off right now, which is fine. But what's going to happen here is I'm going to restack Adren. 3 stacks, 4 stacks, 5 stacks, 6 stacks. And now the problem is I don't actually have a crit rate buff until right now. I let my Adren fall off and now it is here. But here's where it gets really weird. The buff stays here for a while, and you can still see it here when I skip 30 seconds ahead. But if I skip a little bit more ahead in the fight during this specific part right here, the crit rate buff is right here, right next to Adren. But you'll see right here, it'll fall off. Watch the buff, and it's gone. Now I don't have the 20% enhancement from Adren at all. It's gone. And it's in line with what my crit rate was from the raid. It's 20 minutes long, so it's 21 minutes long. My crit rate, it's literally impossible for my crit rate to be 69% on Surge and 72 overall, because Flash Orb is 100%, and this buff is the problem. I have no idea if this is affecting the Kazaros race right now, or if it's affecting anybody else in any other raids. It could be something to do with how many buffs are on your bar. But for the rest of this raid here, I simply don't have the 20% enhancement buff. And this definitely needs to be looked into and figured out. This is a huge game bug. That is all.